What's going on, brothers? This is L.O.M. Mgtow, you know the name. Got another video for you. As written title, Increasing the Ranks in the Hopeless Pro Wax. Here goes. So, once again, it looks like the Pro Wax, the Hoteps, or should I say slow steps, are trashing this Mgtow philosophy again. And I have to say it like this. I'm pretty sure James Avery said it best, so check this out. If you're going to criticize something, at least know what it's about. But of course, these pro wax and these slow steps, they're soft in the head, they don't read, they're emotional and they're effeminate, so they didn't really actually study this philosophy. They only looked at a few characters and then they drew their conclusions from that. And a lot of them didn't even look at men like Barbarossa, an Afro-Dominican who actually helped shape the Mgtow philosophy. Men like Paul Proteus. I can keep going. Hell, men like E-Man 67. But no. According to the Pro Wax and the Slow Steps, if you share this philosophy and lifestyle, then you're a minstrel or an Oreo. And that word Oreo, I'm really glad that the Slow Steps have actually mentioned that, because they just gave themselves away. Do you know that? They gave themselves away. These are the same brain-dead minstrels who bullied the intelligent black people, the intelligent black boys who were trying to knuckle down, study to become mechanical engineers, scientists. They bullied those black boys. They are the ones who clowned and shit on the brothers who were trying to get into college. They accused them of acting white for trying to study instead of selling drugs and trying to shoot up and be a complete menace in their society. That's who they are. And now you got proof. So if you're not selling drugs, if you're not tearing shit up, if you're not arguing and fighting in the street over pussy, if you're not staying within the ghetto war zone that you were born into, then you're an Oreo, you're acting white, you're a Carlton Banks or an Urkel. You see, this is exactly why we left them to begin with. You're not going to see any growth or any improvement hanging around people who are stuck on stupid and are basically telling you and the rest of their neighborhood that they're going to be the shit stuck to the bottom of the trash can. You see, a lot of them are emotional, they're effeminate, their foresight is non-existent. And I would go so far as to say that the reason why this particular pro whack or slow step decided to shift gears and attack this Mgtow philosophy is because one of the failed swirlers whispered in his ear. You know, most of his audience are failed swirlers and these Cleon bitches that are the reason why the black population, their numbers are not as high as they're supposed to be. Yeah, that's right. The same ones who aborted 20 million black babies, the same ones who read these bedwetching novels, the same ones who hop the fence, go and try to find Mr. Clean and then come back with HIV. That's his audience. The snakes in the grass who say that they love black men, but will turn around and tell other black females, if you're pregnant and he's a black boy, abort that motherfucker. These are the games that they play. They're snakes in the grass. And brothers who've taken up this Mgtow philosophy, and brothers over at SYSBM, we pointed it out years ago. That's why our numbers have increased. And they will continue to increase. And one more thing. While those brain-dead minstrels, those slow steps and pro-wax were calling you brothers Oreos, Urkels, and Carlton Banks for trying to be the very best you could be, what are they doing now, huh? Complaining about gentrification, complaining that they're in economic dire straits, complaining about black-on-black crime. And you know what's really funny? These failed swirlers and these Cleon bitches who listen to them, they're the common denominator in all of that black death. Do you realize that? After all, the reason why that Jacob Blake guy got shot in the back 7 times, the reason why the police were there in the first place is because his baby mama called the police on him. You see that? These Cleon bitches and these failed swirlers are notorious for congregating where black men die. Now these pro-wax and these slow steps, they have completely ignored that. And they will not tell you this because they have an agenda to push. And most of them are simps. They're running your ass to the ground because they want twat validation from these ran-throughs, these Cleon bitches, these failed swirlers who came crawling back to the black community because Mr. Clean threw their ass away. And if you go to Kid Organics page, his channel, he actually did a video about a failed swirler who got thrown away by Mr. Clean. She, like he was elderly too. He was an elderly white man who had sex with this young black, like this young black woman, knocked her up, stole $3,000 from her, and now this bitch wants to crawl back to the black community and say, I've been missing out on all this chocolate. I said, no, bitch, no. You hop the fence, your ass better stay over there. I'm not wifing you up. I'm not cleaning up your shit. Those days are finished. You brothers over there at SYSBM, you brothers who share this Mgtow philosophy, let me explain something to you. You are the uncut gems. You are the diamonds in the rough. Y'all are the real pro-blacks. You see, if these slow steps and pro-wax were really about black people, they would actually be preaching that the head of the household is the black man. They don't preach that because most of them are gynocentric. They're effeminate male hyenas. Their job is to get SWAT validation. So you're taking up the mantle of being pro-black when they're really just pro-wag. See, me personally, I've spoken to actual pro-blacks. I've spoken to brothers out there at the highways and byways who are trying to tell black people to get their houses in order. Those are the real pro-blacks. Those entrepreneurs, those craftsmen, those smiths and technicians at those black expos, those are your pro-blacks. Those brothers, those technicians who teach black men how to secure government contracts so that they can make their bread fat, those are the real pro-blacks. And let me explain something else to you. They're not just pro-black. Those are your power brokers. But according to these pro-wax, these slow steps, they're not your power brokers. They're not pro-blacks. They're Oreos. You see? Those are the enemies of your household. Those are the sticks in the grass. And now you know why the black community, for the most part, has become a cesspool of failure. A matriarchal cesspool of failure. Because of willing simps and these bloodthirsty, brain-dead Cleon bitches who thrive off chaos, mayhem, and stupidity and don't want nothing to change. Now you know. This is L.O.M. Mgtow. That's all I got for you as video brothers. If you like the video, like, share, and the commentary, feel free to subscribe if you don't visit my channel. You can find a tip jar on the upper right side of the screen. That's the G+ icon. Alright fam, alright brethren, you know it's real, you know routine. Go on with it with SYSBM. As for these pro-wax, these slow steps, these rambunctious, effeminate male hyenas who attack this philosophy and this lifestyle, give them nothing. This is Mgtow PSA. More to come. Rest tight. See you soon.